Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of all that's new and happening in the modelling world. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Fine, thank you very much.
Good morning. Yeah, good, thank you.
Satellite delay.
Yeah.
What's strange is that we've been talking for about past hour, and then all of a sudden then we're asking each other how.
Well, all right. That's
I know,
spoiling the mystical art of this. I have to do that. It sounds better. Right, how are we doing then? What's been happening over at the PM store this week?
Well, finally, look,
Absolutely, at last.
we have some Vulcans. Not all of our allocation, I have to say. Most of it.
About 80% we've had, haven't we?
Yeah, 80%. Yeah. So it's in. So obviously, you're more adept to talk about this than I am. We've just got a nice shiny red box with a good picture on it.
Do you want to see a bit then? So, I have been working on this said kit. And this is going to sound like I'm going to blow sunshine up Airfix's bum now, aren't I? Because I didn't pay for my kit. They sent me mine, so I'm going to sound like a proper YouTuber and all the rest of it. Oh, it's the best kit I've ever made and all the rest of it. I honestly have to say it's gone together. So far, we are to this point absolutely flawlessly. The only problem I had literally was this bit of the Bombay, the sort of the strengthening plates at the top was just a little bit fiddly to get in, but once it's in it was fine. It's just I couldn't get it to drop in as all the others dropped in. I'm thinking, is it the wrong way round? Is it? No, it's fine, it went in, but it has gone in absolutely fine, no problem at all. And then obviously this bay going in the bottom, a little bit of fettling to get it to go in, to be honest, but again, just taking your time, and gluing it in sections all the way around goes in very nicely. The Bombay's simple but very effective. They go in there, no problem at all. And obviously the cockpit, which you can't see. So, again, it's got all the seats in there, and you can't see. It's got all 3 rows of seats behind here for the weapons officer and all the rest of it, and the navigator in that. And, you can't see any of those, but you can see the ones at the front. So by the time the top goes on and everything else, it'll be absolutely fine. I have got that weighted lump in the front. You get a little cone for it. It's a bit gimmicky, I think, but it does work because it's in there. And again, I haven't sanded or filled or anything to show you on my little overhead this section at all, and it has just gone together, no problem at all. But as I say, that's literally all you can see. To be honest with you, those decals, I was talking to somebody about this, and I was actually saying they're absolutely terrible. But you probably need it because it's the only thing you're going to be able to see through those tiny little windows. So they need to be like stage makeup, as we say, really bright and bold, otherwise you would never see them. But generally, as I say, completely out of the box, no problem at all. It has gone together very, very straightforward. There's one thing I like about this build so far is that it all fits together very well. And as we've said with Airfix over the last few builds that I've been doing with them, it's all paying off now. All the hard work that they actually do in their design processes and just making sure the tolerances are in there as well. This is a classic example because it all just fits. And I know we saw, because obviously on our other show, we were talking about I've got a feeling, was it the Valiant? Had a really dodgy nose. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the Valiant.
Yeah.
Well, look, this one's gone in. It's just glued. Nothing's filled on this at all yet. And it all just needs to be sanded and, just taken in a little bit. But as you can see, there's nothing. It just went on absolutely perfect. And it does all fit 100%. I haven't done anything to this yet. I'm going to say I need to sand and polish it and all the rest of it, but it is really, really nice. And the same thing goes to the intakes. I know a lot of people have said about giant seam lines and things in there, but this has literally just had a coat of the white top glue, Tamiya glue, the resin stuff, this one. So I've got a big brush. I know it comes with a big brush, but you can't reach all the way down, and just literally painted the actual intakes, and it makes it absolutely seamless. So yeah, very, very happy of how that's gone together so far. It's been a great kit to work on, and to be honest with you, it's one of those kits that I started working on it literally at the weekend on Sunday, I suddenly got to here, and I didn't realise how far you pushed along, because you're going through the instructions going, this is going really well, and it's just jogging along, So again, it's worked absolutely. And I know I've been moaning obviously to get hold of this kit forever. But so far it's been really, really enjoyable. It's one of those builds where you're sort of just going along with it all, and I haven't come across any problems yet. I haven't had to second guess any of the instructions. It's generally, it's doing a Ronseal job, this one. It's not a Lidl's kit, this is a Ronseal kit. It says what it does on the tin,
So you're saying it's an improvement over the old one then?
Oh, just a bit. Having somebody who's fought the old one for all those years, I tell you, it's really, really nice. And this section here is the bit that's lovely about it, because, with the old one, as we all know, you used to have to plant the two halves together and then get the wings on. You had seam lines and dodgy joins, and it was awful. Having it this way is absolutely beautiful. But this framework on the inside, which I've spoken about on many, many aircraft builds, it'd be nice if you actually had wing spars, because wing spars aren't just, for structural, it's alignment. So you've got this thing, and when you do put this in, the wings all pull up into it and it locks in. So the top wings, which I haven't put on yet, but hopefully they will drop in. And because of this spar system, if your spar system's all right, it should fit lovely. But even these intakes, when these come along and they drop in here, there's no seam around. Just give it a slight nudge and it's absolutely seamless going through. So, and again, it's got some nice little design touches with it. So you've got the ability to do the different bomb bays. There's a little bit of trimming and sawing, which, to be honest, use the old razor saw blades and just show it on this one. We just literally just nip through it, cut it. It's a nice, good, clean cut, no problem at all. So it doesn't matter which version you're doing. It's a very straightforward build. But summing up on this one, a bit like the Zvezda one I'm working on at the moment, it's pleasurable. It's no frills, it just goes together and it's doing what you want it to do. So I haven't found anything yet. Admittedly, I haven't put the front on yet. That'll be the biggest test. But definitely so far, it's been a real fun build to do. And it's nice plastic as well. It's hard.
Have you decided if you're doing in flight or on the ground?
I'm going to do it on the ground.
All right.
Originally I was going to do it in flight, and again, another great option with this is you get one piece wheel wells if you're going to do it in flight, so you just put them in from the other side and they just click in. So you do get that option just to put full size doors in and be done with it. But I'm thinking about how to display it and all the rest of it, and it's going to be a wall hanger, because what am I going to do with it afterwards? That's the trouble. So having the gear means it can stand against the wall hanging down. So I will put something on the tail to mount it, or picture hook on it or something, to be able to do it and keep it up out of the way of my other collection of 72nd bombers. So if I ever do get round to doing the Valiant and the Victor, they could all go together, So yeah, but generally very, very nice kit. I have to say it's worth the wait.
Good. Because it's been a long wait.
It has been a very long. Hey, look, I've been waiting 20 odd years.
And the rest, 30 odd.
Yeah, that's it. All right, I've been bugging Airfix for 20 years to do this kit. So, but no, it's been a real pleasurable build. For anybody who's like on the fence, are they, aren't they, and all the rest of it, honestly, it is worth it. It is so far so good. I can only speak highly enough of it.
Good.
So I will be invoicing as many people as I can for what we've got kits of. So it'll be first come, first served. I'll be invoicing today people, as many kits as we've had in for. I think we're only short of about 8 kits, unfortunately, but we are going to see if we can try and get them in as quick as we can. So up to the last day, everyone will be invoiced today, and we'll get them sent out to you as soon as you're paid.
Yeah,
there is a rumour going around that because obviously Airfix only got half their allocation in the first place, which is what's been the problem behind this, that the other half is in.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful that obviously then that will quickly filter down to us and we can get the rest of those out, no problem at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, long overdue in it, let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Again, it's
Airfix's cash cow. So.
Yeah, I wonder how long this will be on a run for.
Well, let's hope they don't just discontinue it next year. Done a load of it and then it suddenly gets very rare and expensive. Let's hope they keep it as a proper stock item.
The Victor, the Victors have gone. I think the Shacks are about done, and they do.
The Valiant's gone, isn't it?
Hey?
The Valiant's gone. Valiant's not available, is it?
No, the Valiant's coming back out though, isn't it?
Oh, is it? What is it? Allegedly.
Well, whatever it is, but yeah, they did have it down for coming back out. So again, it completes the trio.
Oh, and that's the thing. You would think they would have the Valiant out and obviously the Victor to go along with the Vulcan. Yeah. So you have got the trio. Although I always say it should be a quadruple. Because the VC10 need to do the VC10, don't they? And then that way I get away from that awful thing.
You've already built that awful thing, so you won't build it.
Well, yeah, it will fit, but they talk about the V bombers. I don't know why the VC10 doesn't become part of it. I know it was never a bomber, I suppose, technically. That's the problem.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's all right. I've just answered my own question there. I'll edit this out. It'll be fine. I'll look so professional.
It falls short on a bit of a technicality.
Yeah, technicality of not being a bomber. All right. As a refueler, all three of them were refuelers, though, weren't they?
I tell you what, though, like that's not small, is it? Why don't you actually do that in flight so you can have it hanging out the back of your
I
VC10?
could do refueling off the VC10. Did they ever refuel that way round though? I think this was the tanker before the VC10, wasn't it?
Yeah, what did they use when they went down to Falklands?
That was Victor's, wasn't it?
Victor's, wasn't
It's
it?
a Victor.
Yeah, I think the Vulcan was converted into a tanker,
Yeah,
and then
You're
the
right.
VC10s were converted, weren't they, to do it?
yeah. Well, you'd have
So
to-
the only way you could actually do it in theory is have this as a tanker, and then the VC10
Yeah,
refueling
yeah.
off of it probably would have worked.
So, are you going anti-flash or?
No, we're going to do it in 617. I think it is that one, wasn't it? With the camo with the white underneath. So best of both worlds. That's the plan for this kit. We're going to go with the camo on the top, the white on the bottom, so we can show about painting both ways.
Seen that aircraft many times.
Yes, I must admit, I remember seeing it land at Riap for the last time, and he bounced it, and you could actually hear probably 60,000 people go because it came down and he was like boom, and everyone like held their breath as the chute deployed out the back and all the rest of it. It's like, oh my god, we were all to that point seeing it at air shows thinking just retire it before it breaks.
Well, we're not a million miles away.
No.
That's
At
it.
all,
You're its
from
resting place now.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
And Sam's, for his 18th, shall pay to have a plaque put on the wing. So one day when we're allowed to venture
You're allowed
out,
to go and see it. Yeah,
Next time.
absolutely.
we'll have to go and have a look at it, yeah.
We should have got to go up and vlog it. Shouldn't
Yeah.
Definitely. Yes, we'd like to see that.
Like
I must admit, I saw it many years before it got back to flight, when it was the back to flight restoration program. We went up and saw it, and when I saw it, it was in lots of bits. So it was nice to see it do the air show circuit. I think I saw one of its final flights. Me and John, Conrad Buller, went to Yeovilton Air Show, and it was one of its final flights was that one.
Well, we all went to
Newark,
didn't we?
We flew over Newark Air Museum and we'd done a show.
Yeah,
Southern show.
Southern show. Yeah,
We'd
we
done the
went to
Southern
Newark
Model show.
to watch it. Yeah.
Went to Newark
Yeah.
and it flew over as it was going back to Donny because it had done the round, you know, and it was going around the country.
Yeah, because it came down here. Yeah, yeah,
And
I
it
think that was. Thing is, it had that many last flights.
yeah. I know.
That
Which,
was-
which one was its last
no,
flight?
that was the last
I
one.
think it was the last
It was
one, wasn't it? Yeah.
literally the last flight for it.
Because
went
we
back.
were sat literally out on our deck out the back here, having like Pims o'clock clearly, and literally you could hear it. And you know the Vulcan's got that distinctive sound, and like we're under an airliner flight plan here, so you hear planes all the time. But this didn't sound like an airliner. And look up, and there she was. And apparently it had been down to Teignmouth because one of the crews. And it did a final flight with all the crews, wasn't it, where they lived around their things, and it went over Teignmouth and waggled his wings at him as he was doing its final tour around the southwest.
Yeah.
So interesting, but yes,
It'll be
Forgotten,
sad to
but not
see it.
forgotten.
Yeah, sad it's not flying anymore, but it'll be nice to see another World War II bomber hopefully flying again soon. As in Just Jane.
Well, yeah, I don't know the story on that. How is it any nearer thought? I know they keep pushing and pushing to get it back in the air, but
I think they're putting it back together again, aren't they now? And I don't know how far off it is, but
to get certified,
Yeah.
can Just Jane take off from that chicken farm, or they got to like dismantle it, take it to an airfield to get it to fly? They got a runway there.
They've got a fee because they run it up, so it's got to have.
Yeah, but I don't know if they had a
I
full
don't know, never
runway
been.
there, or if it's just.
the problem is it's Lincolnshire, and all of Lincolnshire is an
Flat.
airfield, so
It's flat.
Well, yeah, it's flat.
Yeah.
so
Just take it
find
off
a long enough
field
and just
take it off.
I don't think they're allowed to do that though. Just put some holes through some hedges and just carry on.
Exactly.
There'd be like a World War II matting system down for it to get it up. So, but yeah,
I
interesting.
don't know actually. Now you've said, I have no idea. I've never been to see it, so I don't know.
I know a few members have been for rides in it, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
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 And in other news, obviously, Eduard is back,
Yes.
and we've been stocking our Eduard, and we've just literally was the new boxings.
They look fantastic,
There's
don't they?
no new kits here as such, but we thought, well, we're quite taken now by the weekend
new
edition
boxes,
boxes.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's brilliant.
I think
Yeah.
somebody did ask on one of the shows, or somebody asked somewhere a couple of weeks ago about why we're running low on Eduard's kit, and this is why, because they were reboxing everything and
Yeah.
coming out with new.
Well, I mean, you get now 4 options instead of 2.
Yeah.
Crap.
So really, you just don't get your mass set in your zoom set or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, they're detailed enough.
Oh, I've got them down here, as we said before. I've got down in there the Tempest. I've got the 108. I've got quite a few of theirs down there.
Back in it.
Yeah, but you get 6 in that now. You only used to get 4, didn't you?
What, in a Profi? I can't remember on
pack.
Profi pack. But again, there's nice,
sealed up as well.
Nice new boxing. Yeah, they're sealed now as well.
Yeah, I must admit, I think the new box art, you know, if there's one thing that they've done, which is a very clever marketing ploy, it is, because I'm sold just from the box art these days.
Yeah.
You know, that takes me back to being a kid, didn't it? You're like, oh, I love the box art. Don't know what it is, but I love the box art.
I know, like the older kits, they've just redone
the background, isn't it?
The background, really. It's the same box art, but it's just a different colour for all the But I think the weekend ones, they are changing all the box arts, aren't they?
Mm.
They're doing new ones, so yeah. And then obviously we've the Wild Sow episode 2.
Right. Okay.
So they did episode 1, which was 2 109s, and now they've got episode 2. So I don't know. Have a look how many schemes you're getting that. Cause
we did put it up for pre-order. It was a quick pre-order. I think we had one taken, didn't we?
But obviously it's another collector.
Yeah. Which version of the 109 is that then?
This is you get a G. Is it a
G10 and a G14? Just says
right.
it.
So it's the later
I just read that. It's tilted it up. And it's from JG 300 301 and Jag Grouper 300 1944 to 45. There you go. My German was flawless there.
It was. That's perfect.
Not.
I'll tell you what,
there's a bit in it.
A
couple of kits, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you got 2 kits, I suppose.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, their 109s are pretty legendary in 48. Let's be honest. They are.
Yeah.
You know, like the 190s and split everything. All their little single-engined fighters are really
11 schemes. 11. Granted, some of them are very
obscure. Let's have a look.
Similar.
Show them on the camera.
Can I not see it? Well?
Get some wheels.
So I'll try and be clever and edit in a photo.
That's
you're glaring it out there, dude. Yeah, we can't see that. So by the power of editing, they're now looking at a photo of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right for people in Luff off sig.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, and talking of Eduard,
yes,
their future releases.
Yes.
That Phil's written down.
I have, just to remind us all. So obviously, go on.
I was just about to say, when we get some pricing on these, some would do October, November, and December.
Yeah.
If all being well, obviously they're delivered on time and all that. And they're doing a Hurricane in 72nd. The Hurry Story.
Yes. So the Hurricane is actually the Armour Hobby kit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I take it's going to be a Mark 1.
Yeah. So I have to say, having built that kit, it's legendary. It is probably the finest 72nd scale kit I've ever built. It's beautiful kit, falls together, but the detail on it is absolutely amazing. For a 72nd scale kit, as I say, it gives Eduard a run for their money, and they are sort of legendary for the detail on theirs. Is absolutely beautiful. So again, best of both worlds there. You've got Eduard with their goodies and bits, and
just talking of Hurricanes, we'll be getting in, which I ordered yesterday, Zvezda's new 72nd Hurricane.
Ooh.
Right, and I've heard good things, so it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up against the Armour one.
Yeah.
And obviously now you're a Zvezda fanboy.
I am now, yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm working on the Ural truck at the moment on this little lad, and yeah, I love it. It's a great kit.
So, but yeah, the Armour ones, obviously we know how good they are. So Eduard doing what they do, it's going to be a really, and it means I might get a new poster.
Yes, to get a new poster for the wall, the poster wall.
So it'll be the poster wall for Eduard stuff. So that's one of them. What else they're doing? Tornado.
Yeah, so obviously we've got the Tornado back again, which is the ECR version, which is the which one's that? I'm not a tornado expert.
German reconnaissance one.
Reconnaissance one was told last night.
So a recce pod one then. So they're following along with theirs. Obviously, it looks like the limited edition 72nd Tornado's been released again.
Yeah, the Desert Babes coming back.
Which it's caused a little bit of, chatter, shall we say, about how limited is a limited item.
It's not the first time they've done it, though, is it? They did it with the Hind, didn't they? They did it with the 48th Desert Babe.
Mm-hmm.
even though that was a very limited re-release
with posters.
postcards, or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not the first time they've done it, but obviously they buy a number of sprues and they've got to use the sprues up, haven't they? So
absolutely. So
you know, it sells.
Yeah, it is.
Let's be honest, it's obviously how popular it is.
It's been obviously extremely popular. We can't be the only one that's sold hundreds of them, so it's so that's obviously what they're doing. And the other big news, of course, is the Hind 24D.
yes.
Which is a conversion, isn't it?
Which we think is a conversion. So what they've done is they're going to chop off the front end and fit it with the gun system that obviously the Hind has, because it has the movable gun instead of the fixed twin cannon on the side. So this is a Brazin fix for it, isn't it?
Brazin set.
So is that the
Zvezda kit?
Zvezda kit? Right.
Yeah,
So it's the Zvezda kit with Eduard's bits in it.
Yeah.
A book.
A book. So we're not sure about the book, if it's the same one as the old one. But
I don't know. And the decals are going to be for Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic and Slovakia. So that would be the special schemes, I would have thought, because they do some really nice
mega
options.
schemes.
So you're going to
You get the alien.
You might get the alien. I don't know what the alien's on. Is that
if they did,
D or is
can
that
you
on
imagine trying to deck all that? I've got a feeling that was a D actually. The alien was a D.
Was it a D? You could get the
it's got the
alien.
gun on
What
the
about
front,
the eagle? Was that a D?
that was a D. Yeah.
Wow, that'd be a.
I'm not being funny.
I've
seen a guy hand paint one of those and did an absolutely stunning job on it, but I think I'd rather hand paint it and try and decal it. Can you imagine trying to get that to conform?
Yeah.
So you need to hydro dip it. That would work.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Hydro dip your model. That would be the way to get around that problem. But yeah, so again, really exciting stuff from them. It'd be interesting to see the full lineup with the Hind of what bits you get in it. The cockpit, or is it going to be a 3D version? Is it one of their new Space Series ones for it? Or are they just going to go flat?
You know what? No, but now you've said it, I forgot they did the Space Series because they bought a lot of stuff for that kit, haven't they? So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be.
Be a good
and again, hopefully it'll bring, I know we've got another Hind coming down the line shortly from Trumpeter, but it will be interesting to, that I would say completes what it should have been in the first place, because obviously you're going to get the decals and the various, obviously the colour schemes and everything, but also the detail for the cockpit, and that kit is just crying out for it. So yeah, that's going to be the one you're going to go with, and usually it works out a little bit cheaper, isn't it, by doing the Eduard options like that than it would be buying it all separately.
Yeah. And the other thing that we are stocking, which we should have stocked a very long time ago, if I admit it, and forgot to order them, is the little saws from CMK.
Yes, are they in there now? Yeah, in the
yeah, they're in the tooly bit.
Yeah, we sold out the blades very, very quickly, but we're going to get some more in. We're going to order the blades again today.
But there you go, one of them worth having in it. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I've had one for years. To be honest with you,
I've got the thingy one with the wooden handle.
Yeah, I've got one of them as well, but
yeah.
And it's important that you always have a broken blade in you.
Yeah, you need
standard
to have
issue.
Broken blade. I must admit, I changed my blade the other day for filming purposes, but
you know what? Change this. I'm going to leave it out so I can change it.
So also just make people aware there is different blades. So when you are purchasing, have a look to see, because obviously some of them have ultra smooth, obviously is the fine version, but some of them are double edged as well. So the ones I've got down in here, you've got a smooth side and a coarse side. So have a look when you're ordering to see, because some of them does say razor side, both sides are like the smooth version, or one's 1-on-1, and they do quite a few different versions, as you can see up there as well.
So each packet comes with 5 blades in it.
Yeah.
So, when you snap
it's not
them.
a single blade. So yeah, when you snap them, you can change them.
So when you snap them, you're okay.
So I've not got through that many blades in the years I've had them.
I don't even know what blade's in this one, to be honest. It's fine,
like
shall we say. It's very fine.
We'll put an order in for the blades today, and they'll be in early next week.
Yes.
My one here I've got is fine and coarse. It must be, because it's definitely fine on the top and then quite coarse on the bottom there. So
yeah, I think I've got same actually. You feel that. But they are good for rescribing as well, aren't they?
Absolutely. I know loads of people who literally hold the blade in their hand, forget a tool even, and especially for curves.
Yes.
You know, for going round fuselages and stuff, they are absolutely great. To be honest with you, if you know, you'll see it in both videos, and it's nothing to do with now we sell them, it just happens to be it. But I use it for cutting out the Bombay of this thing, and I use it freehand, as with the saw. And then I made a small little faux pas, my mistake, not the kit's, and I had to cut a piece off and then reattach it. And a razor saw is great because you're taking minimal amount of plastic away, so it makes for refitting the part in the proper place straightforward.
Yes.
So it's one of those tools that you might not use it every single day, but when you need it, it's invaluable. You know, It's absolutely great. A razor saw is just one of those tools that I think everybody should just have in there. Even if you don't have the handle, you just have the blades. It's one of those ones where it's just a godsend to have at the time.
I say because sometimes with the handles in, you're limited with your run of
depth. Yes.
Yeah.
And what I've done, Matt, I don't know if you've ever done it, but I just attach it to the end one.
All
so
right.
I have the blade up the top, but then they tend to snap a little bit too easy then because they are very thin metal. So if you actually put some torque into it, they just ping. But that's many a time I've got around that problem by just attaching it to the last screw, so it's hanging off the end in theory.
Yeah. I think the plastic one's got a thinner tang. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
I'm just looking if we could actually thin that down a bit with a grinder.
Yeah, it does make
or
you
a Dremel.
Yeah.
Dremel it a lot.
It's thinner on the plastic one though.
Yeah, so you got
more blade on.
more
So
depth.
you've got more depth.
Yeah. But like I say, it's still really useful tool.
And he's been watching far too much Forged in Fire, or whatever it's called, because I watch it as well. They're always talking about tangs on there.
An expert now in casting.
That's it. Damascus steel.
And then just in other news, we've put another AK order in. We did that on Monday. Big order coming in, hopefully.
Yes.
So that'll be restocking real colours and usual AK stuff. Oils, usual stuff we stock from AK. And we've got an order coming in for Mr. Hobby stuff today. So thinners, primers, glues. We're going to have Mr. Cement S back in again.
Yeah, most thinners.
That's good.
Most thinners. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's it, really.
So yeah, good stuff. Review wise, obviously up yesterday. We've got some more coming in of these, haven't we? I was told.
Yeah.
So this is, if I just quickly, sorry, I'm on the wrong page. Just whip over to here and we go to review section. We've got this little gem. Here it is, which is the review, obviously, for the World War One. And again, it's solid, absolutely solid on the thingy. I've got a photo of it. Look, it's solid plastic. That's why this is so heavy. And obviously you get 4 of these sprues down here that makes up the launch rails, because you get 2 launch rails, 2 V1 rockets, and all the rest of it. So again, that's why it's so heavy, that these are solid plastic. They're not just like hollowed out and all the rest of it. 2 halves go together, but they are absolutely solid. But again, great detail, raised and retest details, typical model collect. There we go. So you get 2 V1s, as you can see down in there. Construction wise, really simple. It literally is just sandwiched together everything and put the legs on, and that's it. So it is, but a couple of options down in there. You do get some decals as well for markings, and obviously you can do any type of number out of those as well, which is quite nice. My only concern is the registry is a little bit wonky on one of them, but yeah, generally very, very nice indeed. As I say, you've got raised and retest details on these, so again, make quite an interesting little diorette or little diorama.
We sold loads of those. We initially had our order in. We sold out. I went up to our supplier, picked a load more up. We sold out. Matt went up to the supplier, picked some more up. Sold out.
And I'll be going again and picking some more up, and we'll sell out, because it's a good little kit, isn't it?
It is.
Luckily, it's only 20 minutes away, so
yeah, it's not too far.
Very, very nice indeed. And the other one, of course, is the SA2 with they call it the launcher cabin. I think this is lost in translation, because when I think of cabin, I'm thinking of something you would like sit in, have a cup of tea, maybe a sandwich. Not the bit that's under the missile. So that's actually what you get. It's literally just the launcher. I would call it launcher because that's it. And you get the deflector plate. I was expecting perhaps something else, but that is literally it.
Yeah, launch pad or something.
There it is. Review of that one's up with you now as well, so you can see that one. And again, it's pretty straightforward. A little bit of construction, obviously, for the base. And again, the cabin, which is 2 bits that are alongside the rail. But again, the nice thing with this particular kit is obviously the decals for obviously the weapon and all the rest of it for the missile. But look, one piece slide molded. First time I've seen it with Trumpeter or Hobby Boss. I've done it. But
Like I
my
said-
point is, it saves a sprue because they don't have the fins on it, but they're tiny little sprue fins as well. So
Like I said, though, if they can do it for that, why can't they do it for the aircraft?
makes you
Or will
wonder
it?
if it's going to be something they're going to start to do. But you know what it's like though with Hobby Boss and Trumpeter. They've got so many weapon sets. Obviously, they're all interchangeable. They just CAD file to the new one, isn't it, and do it that way. So that's why many a time one of the nice things with Hobby Boss and Trumpeter kits is you get half a box of sprues, which you'll never use because it's weapons that probably aren't for that one anyway, but they give it to you. So, but again, it's actually very, very nice. And you've got the booster, the usual thing. It'll make a little great one-day build, to be honest, doing something like this. So I might hold it back for something like that when we do live stuff.
Turkey shoot.
It is. It's definitely a turkey shoot build, but it is. It's a very nice little one. And again, like I said with this one, you could make a very nice little diorama out of that. You could actually do a radar system then, because they are available. And then obviously the guidance, but huts and the various things with it, and the vans that did it. And you could have the missile. There's a lot you could do with that as well. So it is nice. And it's obviously a 72nd scale, so it's not massive,
Yeah.
So yes, because it's a big old missile, that, to be honest.
Cool.
Cool. Very good.
Just some questions.
Indeedy. So, over in the questions we have, Lee says, good afternoon, PM team. I'd really like to build the Tomcat in 48 scale. I've been looking around and I've spotted a few options. Revel, no, just don't. Hasegawa, like Matt Watson now. AMK and Tamiya. Yeah, okay. Tamiya is, but pricey at the moment. No AMK available, although they might be soon. Hey, are we any news on that?
Yeah, later on in the year. I think,
Later in the year.
autumn. Should be getting them in autumn, I think, from being told, all being well.
Hopefully. The Hasegawa is a good kit, worth the price. I'm seeing around £45, £65. Or should I wait and save up for the Tamiya? Should I go with budget and get the Revel kit?
No.
Typical Revel. Okay, forget the Revel one. That's just awful. Full stop. To be honest with you, you've got another option, and obviously Hobby Boss as well. Hobby Boss do one. So for the budget version, I would say the Hobby Boss one is where you're going to go because it's recessed. It goes together pretty well, and there's a load of aftermarket for it available for it as well. Then obviously you've got Hasegawa's kit. It's a 90s kit. It probably stands up really well to today's versions of, but it is showing its age a little bit, and I think it's probably a little bit overpriced just because of its age. You think it'd be cheaper by now, but it's not. Again, lots of different options for markings because they've reboxed that kit many, many times over the years, and obviously they do all the versions of Tomcats as well. Okay, then you've got the two heavy hitters. You've got the AMK one, which is got everything in the box you could ever want with it. Or you've got the Tamiya one, which is very expensive, but just falls together. It's a beautiful kit, okay? But, again, there's no option for doing flaps and slats deployed. It doesn't have panels open and things like that. The AMK one does. Personally, I would go with the AMK one, purely because bang for buck, you've got everything in the box. Tamiya, you can have as an optional upgrade. We're not sure 100% on prices in the UK yet, because it hasn't even been released, but it is due out any minute. It's a wing flaps and slats set for it, for doing it in the launch position, so it will kneel down, different gear, wing sets and all the rest of it, but it's going to put minimum, I think, of 40, probably 50 quid on the price of the Tamiya one, which is already near 100 quid anyway. So I think bang for buck AMK is where you'd want to go. It's not as easy build as the Tamiya one, but you're putting a little bit more work in for half the price.
I think if you want to build one now and you're on a budget, like Phil said, Hobby Boss one, they do the A, B,
They do the B
D,
and the D, yeah, do them all.
If you want to build one now and money's no object for you, go for the Tamiya one.
Yeah.
But again, 100 quid. If you want to build a very, very good one at a decent price, put your name down on the pre-order that we've got running in the forum for the AMK one.
Which should be
Pre-order.
probably October, I think. We're thinking around October time for the AMK stuff to come in.
Because we're doing it 10% off at the moment, and it works out at 50 something,
55 quid or something
pound,
like
is it?
that,
Yeah,
which is not a lot for what you get.
it's almost half the price of the Tamiya one, and it's
And you do get a proper full-on everything Tomcat right out of the box. And the great thing is it's got slide molded weapons as well. So you get all the ground attack ordnance as well as the air ordnance as well with it. Literally, you're just set and ready to go.
Yeah, and it gives the option of doing your flaps and flats down, like we said, without having to buy the add-ons that the Tamiya one is going to come with at some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So definitely. But say, forget the Revel one. The Revel one's awful. It's definitely showing its age now. Alan says, hi Andy, Matt and Phil. Can you give me a date for a restock of the following? The Trumpeter Grinder MIDI drill.
Nope.
We just don't know. To be honest, our said stockist has been out for a long time.
Our supplier is in Europe,
Yes.
and yeah, I mean,
They've not had them for months, to be honest.
but when they get them in, we'll get them in. It's like that. We do look every week.
If it's still in production, that's what I'm thinking. Because they've had
also,
a lot
there may be a bit of a thing about because it's got a battery in it as well. We're not sure how that is into Europe at the moment.
Yeah, it could be.
So again, nobody's given us a definitive answer on it, but we just can't get them at the moment. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And obviously the Meng single edge cutters, as both items are on order with the PM store.
Yeah, same supplier.
They're out.
Yeah.
They're out of stock of them, which are Spay ones, Reebok. So again,
yeah.
As soon as they're in, we'll get them, but we've got no dates. I couldn't tell you. No idea. Again, with the electric, the little grinder thing, don't know, because again, with laws on batteries and all that sort of stuff, I don't know. Don't know what it is. Might send him an email and find out.
Or if we can possibly get them through another channel. Have a look.
Don't know.
Channel tunnel.
Literally, smuggle them in.
We've got more direct.
Send Andy over in an inflatable again.
Yeah, lots of China. Through the Suez Canal, probably.
Yeah, that's it. Mark says, hi guys, hope you're all doing fine and dandy. My inquiry is, can you get hold of Freedom Models X47B, which is known as the Manta Ray, isn't it? I think they named it. If not, any idea what the artillery kit is like?
We can't get hold of the Freedom Model one at all.
No.
The Italia one is a rebox of the
Platts
kit,
which is really nice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice.
But we can't get
the big thing is, it's different scale. So the Freedom Models is 48 scale.
Yeah.
The Platts one is 72nd, which is now Italia reboxed at 72nd, isn't it? So it's different scales.
Yeah. Both nice kits.
Both very nice kits, yeah. Apparently the Platts one is very, very nice, wasn't it? We were looking earlier and it's got rave reviews. So, yeah, that looks to be a nice little kit, really. But unfortunately, can't get hold of both at the moment.
No, I don't think you'll get the artillery one again, to be honest. If you can get hold of it, I'd say grab it, because it's from 2018, the boxing was. Mm-hmm. And it's not their moulds, shall we say. So they probably bought some in and reboxed it like they've done with Fujimi stuff. It's one of them, grab it while it's available, or,
might be eBay or one of the second hand.
Yeah, it's going to be, I would have thought, or somebody might have it in stock if you're lucky. But
King Kit or something.
Yeah. Well, it's not something we can get, unfortunately, because it's not in production or in the suppliers.
Yes. Okay, Lee says, hello team, hope you're all doing well. Could you let me know who did the best 70-second SEPECAT or SEPECAT, or I don't know, it's in French, isn't it? How do you pronounce it? SEPECAT?
SEPECAT, isn't it?
SEPECAT Jaguar?
How should I call it? Something else. I don't know. I've never known how to pronounce that.
I thought it was SEPECAT.
Could be.
SEPECAT?
SEPECAT?
I don't know. And is it still available? If so, can it be ordered? Ideally, I'd like one in 41 Squadron colours. I was used to watch them take off with my dad from RAF Cotteshall in Norfolk. Thanks for the fantastic shows and build reviews and tips, Lee.
No, none of them are available. I don't think there is a 7-second Jag available. There's the Jaguar one and there's the Italia one, and they're probably the best.
Yeah, I've built the T4, I think it was. The Italia did many years ago a boxing of the T4, and that's a beautiful little kit.
Yeah.
It's a very nice kit. I did it as a video build years ago.
Revel's reboxed it as well.
Like I've done the Revel rebox. I did it in Gulf War colours.
I donated my Jaguar one to Nathan.
Yeah, you did, didn't
you? Who built it. Mm-hmm. But as far as I know, none of them are in production.
And as for markings, I wouldn't know. But you can get aftermarket. Loads of people do
Yeah.
aftermarket markings for them.
That's the thing. You're not going to get the Squadron you want in a box. You'd have to buy aftermarket, which would
Yes.
probably be extra decal, to guess.
Yeah, I
Something
think
like
so.
that.
So again, you're going to be looking down second-hand route, aren't you?
Second, they are available. They're available second-hand quite readily, but I'm sure as anything, the only one that we would be able to get hold of anyway if it was is the Italeri one.
Mm.
I'll make a phone call actually. I will ask because I don't know if it is. I don't know if there is or not. I'll ask, but I don't know.
Fair enough. We will get back to you on that one, Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, last up, we've got Carl who says, "Hi Phil, Matt and Andy. Will you be doing a pre-order for the upcoming Meng FA18F Super Hornet?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, chaps, for all you do. Great work.
Yeah, we will.
Yes.
As soon as we know a pricing and we've got a picture.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yes.
And same with that Eduard stuff as well. As soon as we've got a price and some pictures of what's what, we'll bang up a pre-order for them as well.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Special wise, as you say, it will change because obviously we had a Hornet weekend.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody who purchased from there. You stripped us out. So there you go.
Yeah.
But as I say, we've got a couple of bits and pieces up in there. It's roughly the same as what we had last week anyway. But as you can see, some nice ones down in there as well.
Just to say as well, because you're not here Friday, so there'll be no show. We will be putting a new specials up Friday as normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. And did we sell a toilet? Has anyone bought a toilet yet?
No.
Disappointing to say.
Disappointing.
Very disappointing. We
I
didn't
told you
sell
not to buy a pallet of toilets.
Yeah, all I can say it's
yeah.
As I say, you got all your specials down in there, and we got a couple of bits in the new arrivals as well. But as I say, at the moment things are a little bit hit and miss with all these things. But as I say, there's some various things in there. We have got some more of the V1s on the way as well. So as soon as they're arrived, they'll be in there. And don't forget, as always, with all the stuff, if it's not in stock, just pop your name down in the email little box here, and then sign up in there. Then basically what that does is when it comes back in stock, you'll get an email notification with a link, and you just hit the link and go straight to it.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yes, cool, very good. Right, are we all done then, gentlemen?
Are we talking about anything else?
No, I need to go to get my orders done because it's getting on.
Price-wise.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Right, fine.
No doodles. Not interested.
Yes, it's no do with us. We'll get in trouble. Right, okay then, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you all again very, very soon. Remember, if you need anything from the PM store, just click on the link below and you can go straight to it. So, see you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.